Right, to make a Riro, I would need some things. I would need some, this is grilled turkey. I'm going to be using grilled turkey. I'm also going to be using grilled goat meats. Of course, definitely we need the palm oil. I'm going to be using palm oil. I've got some seafood here. I've got squid, prawns, and mussel. I'm going to be using that. This is smoked prawn. I'm actually soaking in hot water, so it's kind of very soft now. I've got my spinach here. I've actually squeezed the spinach. I've blanched it, so it's really nice, and you're going to really love it. What I've done is to squeeze all the water there out of it. I've also got king prawns there. This is the black tiger king prawns. I've got it here as well. I've got dry crayfish here. I've got locust beans called Iru. This one is original, trust me, you know, from Ekiti, you know, really lovely. Now this is abodi, cow intestine. For us who knows abodi, you know, it's really lovely when you when you eat it with a Riro. We're gonna be enjoying that as well. Now you might be looking at this like, oh Kolawole, what is this? This is bell pepper, which is this bell pepper, onions, and scotch bonnets. There is no tomato there, so you might be thinking, oh, why is not adding tomato? You're gonna see the way I make this Riro. I mean, I have another video about making a Riro which I use tomato, so if you want to use tomato you can go and watch that particular one. But this is another video of a Riro that you don't need to use tomato at all. This was one of my first videos that I made then. Anyway, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy watching this. You might be like, what season are we going to be using? I'm going to be using Knorr. I'm going to be using Knorr cube. I'm going to be using some of my favorites, which is the crayfish. So I'm going to be using a bit of salt as well. That way I'm going to pour 250 ml of palm oil. I'll pour 250 ml of palm oil into the pot. At this point the palm oil is hot now. I'm just going to pour my onions. The onions has been frying for like 5 minutes. The next thing I want to add now is I want to add my pepper, which is my pepper, scotch bonnet, and onions right before you add anything. So I've just added it. I used 8 bell pepper, 3 onions, and 2 scotch bonnet. 8 bell pepper, 3 onions, and 2 scotch bonnet. So I'm going to allow this to fry. As it's frying, I'm just going to add some other ingredients as well. So this is when you add your Iru. Alright, so I'm going to add my Iru, which is the locust beans. I'm not going to use everything. I'm just going to use some of it because it's very strong. As I say, it's the Ekiti Iru. They are going to like, Kolawole, what do you mean? You mean that Kwara Iru and Ibadan Iru is not good? I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you this one is the Ekiti Iru, Ekiti locust beans. Alright, cool. So I've added my Iru there. The next thing I want to add is my crayfish. So you want to add 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon of this is actually a 1 full tablespoon of crayfish. I'm just going to add my crayfish to that. Of course, the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to also add my seasoning. I'm adding 3 Knorr cubes. I'm also going to add a bit of salt later when I taste it. But you know, for the amount of bell pepper I'm using, as I said, it's 8 bell pepper, 3 onions, 2 for blending and 1 for frying. That's why it's 3 onions, and scotch bonnet, 2 scotch bonnet. If you don't want it spicy, you know, just use 1. You know, but even with the 2, I don't think it's going to be spicy. Trust me. But you know, a lot of people don't like it, so I'm just gonna mix that. As it's still frying, I love it the way it is. That's what I want. It's giving me the right texture, the right formula. This is exactly what I want. You know, it's not too dry. It's giving the time to cook. I'm also gonna add my my seafoods. As you can see, I want everything to be cooked. So I've got mussel, I've got squid, and I've got prawns there. I'm just gonna add them as well. It's all going in there. Fantastic. It's all going in there, looking good. That's my prawns and mussels going in there. I'm also gonna add, this is my grilled turkey wings. I'm gonna add my grilled turkey wings. I'm going to add my grilled goat meat. I'm also going to add cow tripe. I'm going to mix everything together. I'm going to add my goat leg, which is the cow foot, sorry. I'm going to add my cow foot to it. Add the cow foot. I'm gonna add my body to that as well. You can see this is a very rich meal. You can see with lots of meat inside. Oh my god. Yeah, I've prepared my food for the week. This is what I'm gonna be eating for the whole week. Just put some in the freezer, put some in the fridge, take food to work, get some pounded yam in the staff room. You know, you both people join me when I'm eating my pounded yam, you know, they love it. And to make matters even worse, I use my hands. And I got this local African man. But you know what? That's how I'm taught to do it. I'm not gonna fake anything, man. No faking. But you can fake, oh, you know, use fork, use knife. All these pretty cool people. I'm not pretty cool. I'm a Niger boy. Anyway, this is crayfish flavor. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon. It's like 1 tablespoon. That's 15 grams. At this stage, I'm just gonna add my king prawns. Right, at this point now we want to add our spinach. So I'm just gonna add the spinach to it now. The right thing to do is to remove your, and you see I've removed this separately because while stirring the Riro, you can see it's really dry as well, no water. You can see no single water dripping. That's exactly what we want. Remember, I used 8 bell pepper, no tomatoes at all. 8 bell pepper, 3 onions, 2 scotch bonnets, 2 onions to blend and 1 onion to fry in the palm oil. And of course, the my wife asks like, okay, how many kg of 3 kg of spinach? All right, if that's gonna make it easy for you. You can do your calculations and just try to enjoy good cooking. To be honest, one of the things you will find out is when you lift it up, there is no water dripping. Let me see, no water dripping, and that is how I want the F4. See, no water dripping.